Hey everybody, Sue Bilka again here from the Treehouse with my number 3 blog. And as promised, this week I'm going to be talking about who we are at our core essence, our authentic self. Now, I've been talking to you about masculine and feminine energy and how both live within each one of us. This one's a little bit different. I'm going to be going into how we look at the world, how we perceive the world from one energy or another. And so let me go back in time a little bit to when we're in our mother's womb. We know now scientifically that our brains are being washed with particular chemicals that will give us specific ways of seeing the world. We also know that our brains are being built in different ways. Different areas are larger, different areas are smaller, depending on if we are going to be seeing the world from a masculine bent or from a feminine bent. So we know this now scientifically. So then you're born with this one particular way that you will see the world. That through that filter is how you will see the world. Now, from that point, family conditioning, the things that happen to us, the relationships that we make in the world uh, help to shape our world and shape our perceptions of the world. But at our core, we are either masculine or feminine. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I want to enlist the help of this little graph here. And it's all backwards, so I have to get it level. There we go. Uh, so how we see the world is either from a masculine perspective or a feminine perspective. Now, what's interesting to me is that when I ask women, are you more feminine in the way you see the world or more masculine? Almost all the time, I find people trying to zero in right here. Oh, I'm balanced between the two. I really have the best of both worlds. And I thought that too. I thought, I'm a sailor, I'm a backpacker, I'm a hiker, I am not a weenie girl, I am a strong girl. And so I have a lot of masculine in me. Again, I'm sorry, it's backward. I'm looking at myself and it's backward here. So I have a lot of masculine in me. But, I am a girly girl. I can clean up pretty good and I like to get dressed up and so forth. What I have been finding out in this work that I've been doing, and I've talked to you about my teacher Satyen and his teacher David Data. David Data did a lot of work about finding out the percentages of masculine and feminine energy people. And what he found out is about 90% of the male population of men is a masculine essence. Their core heart is of a masculine nature. That's the way they see the world. And about 90% of females see the world from a feminine perspective. Therefore, about 10% of the male population sees the world from a feminine perspective, and about 10% of women see the world from a masculine perspective. So what this tells me is that a good majority of you out there, especially if you're even interested in this kind of work, you are probably a core feminine female. Interesting. Whereas most of us feel like we're right about here, through some of the work that I'm going to be talking about in the next couple of weeks, I have a feeling you might start seeing yourself moving out in this continuum, which I did. I thought I was right about here. I'm finding out that I'm right about here on this continuum as far as my core heart goes. So we'll be talking in future videos about how we get ourselves kind of mixed up with this. But what I'm going to be talking about today is just how to start seeing where you might fall on this continuum over here. So one of the things that I want you to start thinking about in going back in time and thinking about your childhood. Before a lot of influence of school and society started to do its number on you, think about the games you really truly love to play. Were they hide and seek sort of war games, building things, constructing things, or were they more relationship games like playing house, playing grocery store, playing beauty parlor, those sort of games? That will give you kind of a clue into who you might be in your core heart. Now, for myself and my own, I'll put this down for just a second. For myself in my own life, just as an example, uh, again, I've told you I have a brother, and a lot of our games were hide and seek sort of games, playing out in the tall grass, and maybe even some war games. Not my favorite. While I played them with him because he was my playmate, my favorite things to do, and quite often I did them alone, was to play dress up, to make costumes out of my quilt and out of spare pieces of fabric, to dance around. I think I've even mentioned before, I loved to dance to American Bandstand when I was a little girl. So those are the sort of things that clued me into, when I first started doing this work, that I'm probably more feminine than I gave myself credit for. So, why do we need to know this? Well, what I've noticed in the time that I have started to get a clue where I am on that continuum of masculine to feminine, being way over here, what I'm recognizing from the list of the feminine traits, energy traits that I have talked about in the past weeks, is the more I accept my place on this continuum, the more I listen to that heart of hearts that really wants to be in deep relationships with my friends and with my man and with my family, the more I pay attention to my intuition, the more I lead my life from that place of compassion and collaboration, the happier I'm getting. And that's what I want for all of you. I really want for you to find more authenticity in your life. I feel like for the first time, I'm being truthful with the world in who I am. Even making these videos, this is just wildly fun for me because I am not hiding anymore. I'm not hiding who I am. And from that perspective, I'm finding the depth of my strength. Whereas that girl that was in the middle here had judgments around being feminine, that I couldn't be a rough and tumble girl who goes out and sails and backpacks and so forth. I'm actually doing those things from a deeper place of paying attention to my intuition, of accepting and experiencing the beauty that is around me in a much more profound way. Rather than trying to make others out there see me in a particular way, I'm actually seeing the world from a deeper perspective. So I hope that makes sense. So the next time, we're going to be talking about how we have put shells around that core heart in order to protect it. And we'll find out more about how to start easing those shells away from that core heart so that you can experience the world in a more authentic way. Now, if you want to find out more about how to do this in your own particular life and you need some guidance, I would be happy to help you. I just would love for you to go to my website, which is suebilka-personalcoach.com, and schedule an appointment with me, and we can start diving into this journey together. Or if you have any questions about past videos and so forth, please put them on that website and I'll address them here. So I'm hoping that that's beginning to crack open a new idea about who you might be in the world, because the world is waiting for you to get authentic. Thank you again for listening from the Treehouse. It's been Sue Belka. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.